All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. What a beautiful day it is here in the Buckhead community of Atlanta. Wherever you are, my hope and expectation is that you are having an amazing day, because this is the day that the Lord has made. We might well go ahead and rejoice and be glad in it. So if you're coming on, I want to welcome you to the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston, and today I'm going to be sharing information with you on how you can scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace. So do me a favor very quickly, hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, we alive right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And I want to say thank you to all of you who continue to support the Ramon Preston Show. Just this past week, we celebrated 1 year as a show, and we have been consistent in showing up every day for the last year, with the exception of a few weeks that we may have had vacations or were out of town and couldn't stream live. But for the most part, within the last year, we have been showing up consistently and using the Ramon Preston Show as a channel, as a platform, as a vehicle to give you information that we know is helping lots and lots of students and clients that are already a part of our ecosystem start, structure, and scale their businesses, ministries, income streams, and wealth building dreams. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, and invite them to join us today while we discuss the details on how to scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace. Also, I want you to put in the comments what city, what state, what country you're watching us from. We have a lot of viewers from other countries. Of course, we have a lot of viewers from other states outside of Metro Atlanta. But wherever you are, if you're in Metro Atlanta, let us know what part of Atlanta you're in. If you're outside of Atlanta, please let us know what state you're watching us from, what city you're representing, or what country you're representing. It's very important for us and our community to share those details, not because we're trying to lurk on you, but we want other people to know that we are actually building a global community of people who want to learn biblical principles for business and financial success. And that's what my calling, my assignment, that's what my mission is. And especially this year, I have dedicated this entire year in 2022 to mentor people into becoming millionaires. And that is a process, because there's a lot that goes into mentoring people to literally become millionaires. I've mentored people on other levels. I mean, of course, to help someone make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, I've duplicated that many times. To bring people into six figures a year, I've done that several times. And so now one of my goals for this year is to really mentor people like you to becoming millionaires and to giving you the blueprint, which is why our signature program is called the Millionaire Blueprint. It's my personal playbook. Our Millionaire Mentorship program includes our Millionaire Blueprint, and it's my personal playbook. So everything that I teach, everything that I train, everything that I coach and consult people on, I'm living it in my own life. So if I'm not living it and I don't know it works, I'm not even going to talk about it. You know, I may have some small talk conversations about certain things, but I'm not a speculator. I'm not an imitator. I'm gonna give it to you raw and uncut because I want you to win. So please do me a favor, hit the like, hit the share, tag somebody, invite somebody to join us in the conversation today. Let me know where you're watching us from. And again, I want to say thank you to all of you who continue to support the Ramon Preston Show. For all of you that are members of our Millionaire Blueprint program, thank you so much for trusting us to help you. For those of you that have joined our Millionaire Mentorship program for 2022, thank you, congratulations to you. And for all of you that were a part of our business coaching community in 2021, and you've come into the new year as a member of our business coaching community, I want to say thank you, congratulations to you for continuing to be committed and consistent. And I want to challenge you to make your way to move up into our new mentorship program, especially if you know the regular coaching sessions, the weekly coaching sessions, the coaching calls, the quarterly workshops and masterminds are very valuable to you. Don't wait, don't hesitate. I've already reached out to all of our coaching clients. I've given all of them an opportunity to move up to be a part of our new Millionaire Mentorship program. I actually had a deadline for the 31st, and so my personal assistant, she's been pulling me, asking me to give her a couple day wiggle room. But if you're part of our coaching community, you need to reach out to me today. Let us move you up into our Millionaire Mentorship program so that we can schedule your next coaching session, so that we can put you on the schedule for our quarterly events, and so we can help you not just move up into six figures, but we can help you build a solid framework to becoming a millionaire. So I'll share more information with you about that at the end of today's show. But for today, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world, wherever you're watching from, I want to talk about how to scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace. How do you scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace? This was a deep dive discussion I had Monday with our coaching clients and our mentees in our millionaire program when we hosted our weekly coaching call. And it got real juicy. I was challenging them to elevate their mindsets and to really develop their skill set so that they can scale their lives and their businesses to being millionaires. And so I want to talk to you today about how do you scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace. Well, there are a few things that I want to establish in order for you to understand how this is going to be done. The first thing I want you to understand is the word scale. What does it mean to scale? Because if you're going to scale your value, if you're going to scale your value as a millionaire in the marketplace, if you're going to get out here in the business world, if you're going to go into the workforce, even as a W-2 employee, if you're a network marketer, or if you have a job but you want to start a side hustle, how are you going to scale your value in the marketplace? And so I want to show you how that works. But we need to understand what scaling is. If you're going to scale yourself, if you're going to scale your products and services, if you're going to scale your business, if you're going to scale your brand, your company, your organization, your movement, you got to know what scaling actually means. And so let me give you my definition of what scaling means. Scaling means to set the stage to either enable and or support growth in your company. So you might want to write this down, and I want to give you some time to take notes and write that down, because again, I want to show you how to scale yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace. So when I talk about scaling yourself, when I talk about scaling your business, when I talk about scaling your products, your services, your company, your nonprofit, when I talk about scaling, I'm talking about setting the stage that enables you to grow your company, or setting the stage to support growth in your company. So either you have growth and you need a foundation, a stage to support that growth, or you don't have growth, but you want to anticipate growth and you need a foundation to enable it. All right. So there are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of pieces to the puzzle of scaling. And keep in mind, I'm always looking for ways to enable and to support growth in my company, meaning that I'm always looking for ways to scale myself, to scale my business, to scale my products and services, to scale my nonprofit organization for whatever community programs and initiatives that I have. So if you're going to learn how to scale yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace, first thing you need to understand is that scaling yourself is all about you setting a stage, building a foundation, establishing an infrastructure that can enable growth in your company and support growth in your company. So let me give you a few tactical ways of how this stage that you set actually looks like, okay? Number one, it should look like you having a holding company. I know I say it religiously, but I gotta keep saying it so that you can understand your holding company is the foundation, even though it's at the top as your umbrella company, but it's really like the foundation. It's your world. Your holding company should like be the blanket. It should be the umbrella to the world of everything that you're doing. So even though the holding company sits at the top, even though the holding company is the umbrella, even though it is the parent organization, fundamentally speaking, when it comes to setting the stage, the holding company is actually the foundation. It is what you're going to build the house of your business on. So if you're building a house of your business, even though the holding company operationally sits at the top, but fundamentally, as far as a stage, a foundation, the holding company establishes that. So when you're able to create LLC number one as your holding company, even before you start your operating companies, even before you have all of these divisions and subsidiaries that you know are ideas that you want to become businesses in the marketplace, the fact that you're able to establish this, file and form the paperwork, get your EIN, get your articles of organization, get your operating agreement drafted, open up your bank account. This is like the foundation to setting the stage so that you can enable growth in your company, so that you can support growth in your company, or in other words, this is the foundation to scaling your business. Now, once this is set, it's easy for you to have your divisions. That's a part of setting it up. It's easy for you to have your subsidiaries, which your divisions are not necessarily, some of y'all already know this, but your divisions are not necessarily other entities. Your divisions can be operational divisions or departments within your company. Your subsidiaries may be other LLCs. So you may have LLC number two that provides a certain product or service to the marketplace. You may have LLC number three that provides a certain product and service in the marketplace. You may even have LLC number four that provides products and services in the marketplace. Now, even though I'm not going into deep details about the concept of the holding company, because that's for another time, I have a lot of information on our YouTube page that you can find on the holding company that I teach. We have an entire holding company training program with a startup kit that we provide on our university platform. So if you want more information just on the holding company, we can provide for you training, we could provide for you tutorials, we could provide for you all the documents and the forms to show you how to file it, form it, and set it up, okay, and structure it. But I just want you to see, when it comes to learning how to scale yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace, the scaling part, which means to set the stage, to enable growth and to support growth in your company, the stage is actually the infrastructure. So once you have the infrastructure set, which this would be the structure side, now you're able to figure out, okay, what systems do I need to connect or integrate into this holding company, into this business system? Because if you have one LLC with divisions, or if you have one LLC with divisions and multiple subsidiaries, what you're going to need is systems. And those systems are going to have processes, but you're not going to have good scalable processes if you don't have good scalable systems. All right. And so when I say systems, if you followed me long enough, you know what I mean when I'm saying systems. I'm talking about financial systems. Okay, you got to have financial systems like QuickBooks to track your income and expenses, to stay on top of your cash flow, to see what your operating income is throughout your entire organization. When I talk about systems, I'm also talking about executive systems. So there are certain systems that you need to support you as an executive. I'm talking about operational systems. Okay? There are certain operational systems that you need for the logistics of your company. Maybe there's some administrative responsibilities you have. Maybe there are some other accounts, receivables that you're working with that ties into the financial, but they're more legal in nature. I'm also talking about sales systems. So you have to have CRMs, and you have to have a database to be able to capture information and hold that information so that you're able to communicate with your prospective clients or customers, or your current clients and customers. I'm talking about marketing systems. You have to have certain marketing systems that are connected to social media so that when you generate leads, when you get attention, when you promote, you're able to communicate with people, and as you get attention, you can make conversions. So all of these systems have to be integrated into the infrastructure, because again, if you're going to learn how to scale yourself, right? As a millionaire in the marketplace, scaling is about infrastructure, scaling is about systems, scaling is about processes. And what I have learned just in my years of being an entrepreneur, I have learned that the higher you go, in other words, the higher you scale up, the more sophisticated the systems and the processes become. The higher you scale up, the more complex the systems and processes become. But even though they're going to continue to become more sophisticated, they're going to continue to become more complex, you still have to have some foundational systems and processes within your infrastructure in order to even enable or to support any type of scalable growth in your company. All right. So again, we're scaling. This is what we're doing. We're scaling. Let's just make it clear. Scaling ourselves as what? As millionaires in the marketplace. This is what we're doing. We're scaling ourselves, because again, it's going to be hard for you to ever scale your business or the products and services that are in your business if you don't necessarily know how to scale yourself. Like, there are a lot of companies out there that have amazing ideas. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that have awesome products and services, but because they've never thought about scaling themselves, meaning that they've never thought about building a solid infrastructure of systems and processes for themselves, it makes it that much more difficult for them to scale any product, any service, any organization. So we're talking about how to scale ourselves as millionaires in the marketplace. So we've covered the scaling part, right? You should at least understand that. Now let's take a look at the millionaire, because why am I saying you should scale yourself as a millionaire? I wonder if any of you have an answer as to why. Like, why do you think I'm saying that you need to scale yourself as a millionaire? What are some of the things that you might think I'm referring to when I say you need to scale yourself as a millionaire? Why am I always pushing you to think like a millionaire? Why am I always challenging you to reach a millionaire status? Why am I always talking about this millionaire thing? Why are my programs Millionaire Blueprint programs, Millionaire Mentorship programs? Why am I claiming to be a millionaire mogul? Why is this whole millionaire thing important? Do any of you know? If you think you know, or if you have your perspective of it, I would love for you to put it in the comments. I would love to know how you see that and what you think about that. There's really no right or wrong answer to it. It's just your perspective. It's just a matter of how you see it and what you think about it. But I would love to know what your take is on that. Why do you think? I'm always talking about millionaire. Someone just said on YouTube, the mindset and actions behind it. It's a good answer. That's a good answer. Thank you for sharing that. The mindset and the actions behind it. So there's something about the mindset. There's something about the actions. There's something about adopting a mentality of that of a millionaire that just changes your beliefs. It changes your behaviors. It changes how you talk. It changes what you do. And so when I say you need to scale yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace, I want you to understand I'm not just talking about a mathematical number, okay? I'm not just talking about a mathematical number. So let me make this clear to you. So when I'm talking about millionaire, okay? Yes, millionaire is a mathematical number. We understand that. Yes, millionaire is a dollar amount, but millionaire also describes your mindset. Millionaire also describes your mindset. See, it's going to be very hard for your value to go up in the marketplace if your value never goes up in your mind. Does that make sense? So if I go into the marketplace, I can have the best product. I can have the best service. I can have the best idea. I can be the best communicator. But if my mindset is not reflective of what I actually want to see mathematically in numbers, it's going to show up in my lack of numbers. So I have to figure out, how can I adopt the mindset of a millionaire? And how can I adapt to the mindset of a millionaire so that when I do go into the market with my communication, when I do go into the market with my presentation, when I do post things on social media, when I do present my products and services, when I do make calls to people and send emails out, where am I coming from? Where am I coming from? I'm coming from here. So that changes the game, because if you have a mindset of, yeah, I just need to make 20 grand this year. I got $26,000 worth of debt I just need to pay off. Yeah, I got a 520 credit score and I want it up to an 800. If this is your mindset, it's going to reflect in how you present yourself and your products and your services and your business in the marketplace. Because it doesn't really take a whole lot to go from 520 to 800. In terms of money, in terms of effort, in terms of maybe paying some things off, in terms of hiring somebody and paying them a couple $1,000s to help you, get things deleted. It's not like going from a 520 to an 800 is going to cost you $1 million. That's not $1 million activity, right? It ain't. It don't take that much for you to figure out how to make $20,000 a year. And again, if you're listening to me, you like, yeah, but you just saying that because of what you doing, and you don't have the mindset. It ain't gonna change the whole world, even if you paid off $26,000 worth of debt, or maybe you got $86,000 worth of debt. It's not like, even if all of this was paid off, that it's gonna totally change your whole life. Because if you added 86 plus 20, and let's say if it took you $4,000 or $5,000 to get your credit, you're talking about maybe $110,000. Like, here's what I want to ask you. Based on all your debt, based on all the debt that you have, based on all the things that you want to take care of to get yourself in a financial situation to be debt-free, and to just have a little peace of mind and a little wiggle room financially, what is the total dollar amount? I want you to do the math on that. Find out what is the total dollar amount. All right, what is the total dollar amount? Like, what is the exact dollar amount that if somebody came to you today and said, I want to pay off all your debt and I want to give you $10,000 over all your debt just for you to put in a savings account so that you can have some extra reserves. What would that dollar amount be? I want you to do the math on that. Would that dollar amount be 50 grand? Would that dollar amount be 100 grand? Would that dollar amount be 150? That look like an 8. Would that dollar amount be 150? Most people don't have as much debt in their life. Most people don't have as much debt in their life as they do in their mind. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Think about that. Most people don't have as much debt in their life as they do in their mind. I really want you to wrap your mind around what I'm saying, because I've consulted and coached a lot of people, not just in their businesses, but even in their finances. And a lot of times when I sit down with somebody and I say, okay, well, let's do the math. That's one of the first things I'm gonna do. If you've been around me long enough, I guarantee you we've pulled out that calculator. If you sit down with me long enough, I'm gonna pull that calculator out and I'm gonna be like, let's do the math. You can do all that talking. I hear you, but let's do the math. Let's see what the math say. So you could be doing all that rah-rah, well, I think this and I think that. Well, if I do this and do that and I believe this and believe that. I hear what you're saying. Let's do the math, dog. Let's do the math, boo. So I want you to do the math on what is the total dollar amount that you have in debt. Credit card debt, student loan debt, car loan. You might even want to add your mortgage. I don't know. But at least get the number of debt. Maybe just the consumer debt. Even if you don't add your mortgage, if you got a mortgage, but your car, payday loans, 3 family members you owe, credit cards, lines of credit, whatever it is, okay? Get the total dollar amount and just add 10 or 20,000 to it. All right, do that. Add 10 or 20,000 to it and then see how much you owe. Now, guess what? If you're in debt, at least $1 million, right? 1 million. If you're in debt, at least 1 million. If you're in debt at least 1 million, then you should by default, without even thinking, have a millionaire mindset. Because remember, the word millionaire isn't just a mathematical number that describes your net worth. It also describes your mindset. It describes your mindset. And so one of the reasons why I have pivoted my personal mission when it comes to teaching biblical principles for business and finances is because I have done enough math, I've done enough research, I've worked with enough clients to know that if I can get you to start thinking about how you can make $1 million so that you can put yourself in $1 million state of mind, if I can just get you to start thinking there, then most likely wherever you're stuck at, whether you're stuck at 500K, whether you're stuck at 250K, or whether you're stuck at 25K, if I can get you to at least think about the possibility of you making $1 million, it's going to make it that much more easier for you to get out of whatever stuck you in and start climbing that income ladder to find yourself in a better income class. Now, guess what? If all you have is a $250,000 limit in your mindset, if all you have is a $75,000 limit in your mindset, God knows if all you got is a $25,000 limit in your mindset, what happens when the tire goes flat? What happens when your grandbaby gets sick for 2 weeks and you got to take a few days off to help your child and can't work? What happens when a family member dies and they didn't have insurance and now you and the family got to chip in? What happens when something abruptly comes up and you got to travel somewhere and get a rental car? What happens when you got to bond somebody out of jail? Or what happens when certain things happen, take place in your life, and you realize that your whole life was built around $25,000 that you make or $75,000 that you make? What happens when an opportunity presents itself? It don't even have to be something bad. But what happens when an investment opportunity presents itself? And in order for you to get in on this investment that can be a game changer, you need $5,000, but you ain't got nothing but $250 in the bank because you're living from a place of limitations. Well, what happens is you're never able to get out of this cycle because you're stuck in a certain income class that's already failing you, even if nothing bad happens or no opportunities come. But if you can elevate your mindset to that of a millionaire, now all of a sudden you start realizing that, oh, wow, wait a minute. In order for me to make $1 million, I got to start, number one, thinking differently. Because now $1 million is not just a mathematical number to describe my net worth. $1 million is also about my mindset. Are you understanding what I'm saying here? Now, you have to at least be able to make sense. You have to be able to at least make sense of the possibility of being a millionaire. Ramon, how can I make sense of the possibility of being a millionaire? Because either way, if you're working as a W-2 employee or if you're getting a fixed income, either way, no matter how you're living, whatever type of money you got coming in, over the course or the span of your life and career, you're gonna make $1 million anyway. So let's just say the average person makes $30,000 a year, okay? Let's just say if an average person makes $30K a year, all right? And let's do the math on this. I told you we got to do the math. So if the average person makes $30K a year and the average career span is anywhere from 30 to 40 years, we'll just say 30 years, okay? We'll just say 30 years to be conservative. So now let's do the math on this. $30,000 times 30 years, that's 900 grand. So you're almost pretty much at $1 million. Now, if you make more than $30,000 a year or you work more than 30 years, let's say if this was 40 years, all of a sudden you go from 900,000 to 1.2 million. So either way, you're going to make $1 million. You're going to make $1 million. If you get $30,000 a year from the government, if you get $30,000 a year from a job, if you get $15,000 a year, you're going to make $500,000 in 30 or 40 years. So either way, you're not too far off. The only difference is 30 or 40 years. I want you to cut the 30 or 40 years. I don't want you to have the mindset that I got to wait 30 or 40 years to make $1 million. So I want you to elevate, scale yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace by first elevating and scaling your mind. So you want to ask yourself that question. You want to challenge yourself. And so here's the question that I would ask you. One of the first questions I'll ask you. Are there any millionaires on the earth today? I'm asking you a question. Are there? Are there any millionaires on the earth today? Are there any millionaires that exist on the planet today? Okay? So if there are millionaires that exist today, then that at least lets me know there's a possibility that there can be more millionaires. And if there is a possibility that it could be more millionaires, then there's a possibility that I can actually become a millionaire. So you got to start fleshing these questions and answers out in your mind to help build the muscle of the mind to really step into that possibility. And so now if I know that there's a possibility that I can make $1 million just in a year, because there are other people who are millionaires that make at least $1 million a year. And because there are other people who make $1 million a year and they're millionaires, I know that there's a possibility that I can. It's just a matter of how I'm going to actually do it now. But at least I know in order for me to do it, there has to be some level of scalability. So I have to have an infrastructure. That's a structure. I have to have systems. And I have to have processes. And for a lack of a better way of explaining more complex things, I have to have certain practices. So if I can just believe that it is possible for me to make $1 million a year, and then I know that in order for me to even put myself in the reality of what I believe, I would need the right structure, I would need the right systems, I would need the right processes, and I would need the right practices. So now, what if I had the right structure? What if I had the right systems? What if I had the right processes? What if I had the right practices? Does that increase my possibility of becoming a millionaire, or does it decrease it? You tell me. Does it increase it or does it decrease it? Because if I know that there's a possibility I can do this, and I know in order to get this done, I would need the right structure, systems, processes, and practices. And if I can get access to these things, then my possibility of becoming a millionaire, it goes up, not down. And so now with this newfound information, it helps to shape my mindset, because now my mindset is literally set to at least $1 million. And now I have a basis for my beliefs. I have a basis for my behaviors. I have a basis or a foundation to get the right structure, to get the right systems, to get the right processes, and to get the right practices. And so if I can start gravitating towards the structures and the systems and the process and the practices and how these things actually work to scale me up to $1 million, my mindset can then become a skill set. A skill that sets me to $1 million. And I know it sounds a little simple, maybe the way I'm saying it, because I'm kind of just writing a little stuff down and you like, yeah, it's easier said than done. Well, it is hard, but it's possible. That's where you got to start leaning your mind towards. Yes, it's hard, but guess what? It's hard being broke. It's hard struggling. It's hard living in poverty. It's hard not having enough. So either way, I gotta choose hard. I might well choose the hard that's gonna move me up, right? Because being broke is hard. I don't care what nobody say. Struggling is hard. Not being able to pay your bills. Looking at your kids disappointed because you can't do certain things for them that they may need. That's hard. So becoming a millionaire is hard. Learning structures, learning systems, learning processes, learning practices, learning how to scale, learning how to build a real business, learning how to sell, learning how to market, learning financial systems, learning how to be a good CEO, learning how to hire people, learning how to deal with payroll, learning how to deal with workman's comp, learning how to deal with people walking out your life and quitting on you. Learning all those things is hard. It's hard. It's hard. But guess what? Not doing those things and staying stuck is hard. So you got to choose your heart. You got to choose your heart. All right? So I want you to give me some feedback and give me some takeaways on what you learned today and what I said to you that kind of resonated with you, or what was the biggest point that I made today that gave you like a aha moment to trigger you and to challenge you to scaling yourself as a millionaire in the marketplace. And so once you Get the mindset. Once you start working on developing the skill sets and you understand that becoming a millionaire, making $1 million is possible, you need structure, you need systems, you need processes and practices. Now you can start doing the mathematical calculations, because you're probably going to have to start asking yourself, who or what do I need to get rid of? That's a big question you got to ask yourself. So we just covered all the stuff I just mentioned, right? The next question you got to ask yourself is, who or what do I need to get rid of? Because there are some who's, and there are some what's. For some of you, there also may be some where's. You got to ask yourself the question, what are the who's that I got to get rid of? What are the what's that I got to get rid of? What are the where's that I need to get rid of? And then when you ask yourself that question, come back around when you answer it truthfully and ask the question in reverse. What are the who's that I need to add to? Like, who do I need to add to my life in order to do all the things that we just covered? What are the things do I need to add to my life? Where are the things that I need to add? Are there certain places I need to add to my life? Are there certain places, like there are certain places that I have to add to my life in order to get me to the next financial level that I'm on my way to now? I've got to get in front of the right people. I've got to get in front of the right things. I've got to get access to certain things. I've got to be in front of certain people, and I got to be in certain places to be in front of certain people. I always say this, I'm part of a coaching program. I'm being mentored. Me and many other millionaires and multimillionaires who are, and some who are not millionaires or multimillionaires, but are future millionaires. We are being mentored by a billionaire. And in order for us to really get a lot of the good, meaty mentoring, guess what? We got to fly on our own dime to Miami. We have to pay for rental cars in Miami. We got to pay for hotels in Miami. And a lot of times it costs more just to accommodate the trip than it may be for the cost of the event that we're participating in. Thousands more. But who cares? I got a number I want to reach. And my number is not one. I got a number I want to reach. And so one of the questions I got to ask is, who do I need to get rid of? Because the people that I was dealing with on $1 million level might not be the people I need to deal with on a $10 million level. The people that you were dealing with on a $20,000 level, not the same people you're going to be dealing with on a $500,000 level. And if you don't understand that and you're not willing to make that decision, this is why you will not scale. All right? So some of you, let's say if you down here at $25,000 a year, right? Let's say if you're at $25K a year, and all the people you around every day are $25,000 people, or they may be lower. Well, guess what? In order for you to get there, you got to change some who's. Because if you still talking to the same people, I know they're not telling you the same thing a millionaire is telling you. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you that. This is one of the reasons why I do not give my ear and my eyes to certain people, certain places, and certain things. Because here's what my mind is. I'm just give you an example of myself. My mind is here. 1 billion. That's 10 figures. That's what my mind at. So that means I got 100 mil, I got 10 mil, I got 1 mil, and everything under 1 mil. Now, if I'm here and I want to get here, but I know ultimately I want to get there, but in order for me to get there, I need to get here and I need to get here, then should I be talking to people down here? Should my who's be people under here? Why should it be? Because if they're where I'm at over here, they're not telling me anything that's going to move me up for the most part. If I'm here and I want to be here, here, and here, I got to figure out my what's. Because my structure is going to have to change. My systems are going to have to change. My processes are going to have to change. My practices, how I hire people, how I fire people, everything that I do has to change in order to go from 1 to 10. where do I need to let some people go? Like, where do I need to let go? Are there some certain areas or ecosystems that I've been in that I need to no longer go in so that I can move towards the trajectory? And then I need to come back around and say, who do I need to add to my life? Well, guess what I did? I added a billionaire to my life. I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I want to be around the person who's already where I know at one point in my life on this planet I want to be. So guess what? I had to check the box of my who. And then I'm looking at the what's and I'm like, oh my God, what it takes to get there is like sophisticated, complex, next level, out of this world systems and processes. But then I need to look at the where. Where do I need to be? What circles do I need to be in? What places in the world do I need to be in? Like what places do I need to show up in order to really push me and lift me to that place? And you got to do that. You got to be willing to do that. And then once you do that, you're going to start realizing that there's a lot of who's and there's a lot of what's. There's a lot of who's, there's a lot of what's, and there's a lot of where's that you have in your life you got to get rid of. And there's some new who's, what's, and where's you got to add to your life. Am I making sense to you? And then once you start checking those boxes and fleshing out those answers and filtering your life in those things, guess what happens? It makes it easier for you to start doing the math. Wow, that came back. All right, I want you to move out of the way. So now let's go back to the million. Do y'all notice? I don't know how many of y'all notice, but do you notice how many times I erase and rewrite the word million? And I was like, I was just on a coaching session yesterday with a client, and I was talking to them about motivational speaking, and I was talking to them about them putting themselves in a position to be a speaker and an influencer. And I was just sharing with them some of my own principles and practices that I live by as a preacher, as a motivational speaker, as a presenter. And it's really like a preaching principle. And one of those preaching principles is you got to take notes, you got to study, you got to rehearse, but then you got to preach your sermon 100 times before you preach it the first time in front of people. So by the time you get up there in front of people, you've already preached it so many times, you actually know it by heart, even if you have notes. You get what I'm saying? And my point in bringing that principle and practice up here is that you got to write and rewrite the information and the numbers enough until it gets embedded in your psyche. Like that should be your target, point blank, period. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you got some value from it. And I want you to take this number and I want you to start doing the math. Like how much money do I need to make in order to make $1 million a year? Right? Let's see. I think it's 83,000 if I'm not mistaken. It's 83. Yep, it's 83K. 83. It's really more than that, but let's just say 83,000 a month. 83,000 a month. Let's divide that by 4. It's going to be about 20,000 a week. So now I need to figure out, wow, how can I make $20,000 a week? How can I make $20,000 a week? I got to figure that out. But again, when you answer the question, who do I need to let go? What do I need to let go? And where do I need to let go? And then you come back in reverse and ask, who do I need to add? What do I need to add? And where, what places I need to add to my life? Well, in order for you to make $20,000 a week, what are some things that you might need to add to your life? I already know one thing you should be adding, if you don't have it, is a coach. You need a coach to help you understand not just the possibility of that, but the principles and the practices behind that. You need somebody to help you with that. But also, you may need to add a different type of structure. It goes back to those things I talked about. You may need to add different types of systems. So you got to figure out, okay, wow, I just ruined that. Anyway, I guess my board is like, bruh, you just dogging me today. Just give it up. So anyway, if you want to know more about what I've been sharing with you today, and you know that you want to set a solid stage and a foundation to become a millionaire, and you need a blueprint. This is why I created this online virtual mentorship program for business and financial success. It's called the Millionaire Blueprint. I mean, we have hundreds of lessons. We have several programs that are made up of tutorials and training modules with documents and forms to show you how to structure your business, how to start it, how to create systems and integrate them into your structure. We teach on sales and marketing. We teach on financial tax strategies, real estate investing. We teach everything you need in order to actually become a millionaire. It's called the Millionaire Blueprint. We also have a Millionaire Mentorship program. And the Millionaire Mentorship program it includes the online training program, but it also includes me and my team personally coaching you and mentoring you. So if you would like to speak with me on that program or either one of those programs, whether it's the virtual Millionaire Blueprint or our Millionaire Mentorship program, all you have to do is text the word millionaire to 404-478. Come on, baby. 7213. You could text that name to that number, and we'll reach back out to you, and we'll let you know more about how our Millionaire Blueprint and our Millionaire Mentorship program is helping people start, structure, and scale their businesses, their ministries, their income streams, and wealth building dreams beyond six figures. And some of them, I truly believe within the next year or so, will be into seven figures. And so I'm working with a lot of great people who are listening to me. They're following my instructions. They're taking everything that I'm giving them step by step. They understand that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, but they're doing their due diligence and they're starting to climb up that income ladder. And I'm so proud, and I can hardly wait to make the announcement of the first millionaire, the first entrepreneur that crosses that $1 million threshold. And I think it's going to be sooner than later. It may even be this year at the pace I have a couple of our clients going. So if there's anything we can do to help, just text the word millionaire. I'll be more than happy to reach back out to you and to speak with you, to share with you more information on what we're doing to help people live the manifestation of biblical principles for business and financial success. I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow right here, same place, same time.